Shalom, everyone. Welcome to the weekly update that we've been doing for several months now. And Roy Shposhnik is with us. Roy is the 188th Brigade Association. You're the chairman, I guess.
Yep.
The chairman.
True.
Okay, and this is the
Hello,
Barak
everybody.
Brigade. And so we want to catch up on what's happening. I mean, lots of things have happened in the last couple of weeks, and looks like more will come shortly. So, uh, I have some questions. What's the situation on the hostages and the bodies of the hostages?
So yesterday night we received actually the last portion of the first phase of the deal. We got 4 more bodies, and that's after we finalized. If you all remember, last week during our last conversation, the Bibas families was on the way to Israel, and then the body of the female
Yeah.
was not the original body of
You're right. Of
Shiri
the
Bibas,
mother.
the
Yeah, the
mother.
mother. Yeah.
And during Friday night, Hamas handed over Shiri's body, and yesterday was one of the most heartbreaking ceremonies, funeral for the Bibas family.
Right.
We are right now in a situation that we have 59 more hostages in Gaza. 23 of them we know that they are alive, and that's based on witnesses that we got from the kidnap that has been released in this first phase, and the rest of them we know that they are dead. Right now there is a heavily negotiation between Israel and Hamas, thanks to the American administration and to Witkoff, that is actually landed today in Israel and is trying very hard to push for the second phase. Second phase means that Israel is officially ending the war, getting out from Gaza, from Philadelphia corridor. For all of you viewers, that's actually the border between Egypt, Gaza, and Israel right now is refusing to withdraw from there. From, by the way, a very strict and obvious reasons. There are still tunnels over there and still smuggling of people, ammunition, humanitarian aid, and everything. So Israel is aiming to keep those lanes under the Israeli control. The army itself, and our brigade is a part of it, is actually getting ready to re-engage, meaning to get back to Gaza into certain areas based on intel that we have gathered, to go into certain areas and to search for the remain hostages. Personally, I am not sure that that's the right thing to do, but that's where we are standing. We can all just remember one important thing.
Yeah.
On the 5th of March, which is this coming Wednesday, the chief of the army is going to be changed. I think that nothing will happen until then. And let's see what goes on the week after.
Right.
Now I understand that the report came out on the October 7th episode, the massacre,
Yep.
and I'm sure that it has some far-reaching impact right now. So what can you tell us about that?
So, first of all, the army released the entire reports. He did a very extensive debriefing and trying to go down and into the details. And finally, after 511 days, the public has a much better sense of understanding what exactly happened on hours before the 7th of October. First of all, the chief of the army admitted about 2 hours ago that the 7th of October is a failure, and he is the one that is taking full responsibility on it. There was a lot of red flags that has been raised, but none of our intel, none of our, how should I say it, the people that needs to be on guard, none of them managed to identify those red flags and to alert. And I'm afraid that they even mentioned it today. It took the army, the big army, okay, let's say the upper command, it took them about 6 to 7 hours to understand what's going on. In these 6, 7 hours, Kibbutz Kfar Aza, Nir Oz, Be'eri was literally by his own, on all by himself.
Mm.
And
With
only
how
around
many Hamas came in? Like
1,500.
3,000, 4,000.
No. 1,000. Oh, how many went in, you mean? Gilla?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the first wave, there was 1,175 terrorists against 671 warriors,
Yeah.
Israeli warriors. That was the first phase. Okay, that's the original number. Between 7 to 9 o'clock, there was an addition of 600 terrorists under, listen good, 937 rockets that has been fired from Gaza. By 12 o'clock noon, all of a sum of 3,700 terrorists that went in and out of Israel. We are talking from 6:29 in the morning until 12 at noon. This is shocking.
Yes.
And nothing from the top brass, nothing organized.
Nothing.
All the response that happened was sporadic on the spot with local small groups
Absolutely.
that managed to get organized.
Absolutely. All in all, on the 7th to the 8th of October, just giving you numbers, and those are the accurate numbers, they were 5,500 terrorists in 3 different waves. They were 114 break on the fence. On one day, Hamas fired on Israel 3,889 rockets.
Rockets.
57 UAVs, 7 boats, and 6 parachutes. That's the attack of Hamas on Israel on the 7th of October.
On October 7th.
On October 7th, yeah.
All right. This is a grim report.
Yeah, it is
Very
shocking.
grim.
Yeah. We're in a situation. The army cannot leave it as it is.
Right.
It can't be a peace. We walk away. And so the army is preparing to go back in. Is that correct?
That is correct. So the army right now is, he split Gaza into 2 different divisions, and they are aiming to bring the third one, which we are going to be a part of it at the end of the day. And yes, the army is planning to get in. As I said last week, we got back all of our ammunition. We got back all of our tanks and the supply that we needed. We are still working on the human parts. Let's call it like that. You know, some psychology, some training, but we are ready. We are ready to go back into Gaza. We are just waiting to get the final decision of the government.
Let me just say one thing. I mean, Ro'i, other than being the chairman of the Barak Association, is a major and a deputy commander of the 188th Reserves Brigade. And you've been in reserves. You've been recruited since October 7th.
511
the whole
days.
time. The whole
Yeah.
time. A
Yep.
year and 5 months.
Yep. True.
And remember, he's the father of 3 boys. He has a business. He lives in Hadera, so there's a wife there also. And he's spending most of his time in the military.
And you're not alone.
Yeah,
There's many
yeah,
have-
that's just
that are
that's just
serving
one
just as your
example, right? One example of the situation and how thinly stretched we are, and we'll just have to go on. We'll just have to go on. There's no question. It's not done.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Gaza's one thing, but you don't have just Gaza. You have Judea, Samaria. You have Israel is several kilometers into Syria, and you've got a Syrian situation. Okay, tell me about the Syrian situation. What's the danger there? What's happening there?
So we are entering a phase that there is a lot of question marks. I mean, in one hand, the new leadership in Syria is giving us a very positive signals that they are not into a fight with Israel. However, they are threatening the local Druze on the Golan Heights, specifically the one that are on the Syrian side, where we are sitting right now with our troops, and they are actually accusing them of cooperating with us, meaning that they are trying to create a kind of internal civil war between each other. The local Druze over there are indicating that they want to move to Israel, and Israel is saying that they are willing to keep them and kind of creating a safe zone that will be an area that Israel will control using the Israeli Defense Force. Having saying all of that,
not move, Roy. Druze don't move. They
Yes,
don't
they wanna
leave
stay-
their land.
they wanna
They
stay
don't
over
leave
there.
their community. Yeah, they
Now,
want
having
to come
saying-
under Israel. Yeah.
having saying all of that, we all of a sudden have a new lunatic in the neighborhood, and this is Mr. Erdogan, that is claiming that he is coming to release Syria from the Israelis. Now, he is acting right now, or he believes that he is the new Muslim Messiah, and that's how he's being wandering around. He's financing a lot of things for the new leadership in Syria, and that is becoming something that it's a little bit concern. Erdogan is even using, during his last speech last Sunday, he threatened directly at Israel that he will move his troops to go ahead and fight Israel. So those are some concerning issues that we are trying to deal with. The European Union plus United States is trying to calm down the area and to make sure that Erdogan is only talking, but you can never know.
Now, this Aldewan, where is he from?
Erdogan, he's the president of Turkey. I guess you call him Erdogan.
Yes, okay.
You call him Erdogan. Yeah.
Now I understand. But this is a real danger.
It is. And you know what the funny part, Joe? Some of the military of the Turkish is based on Israeli technology.
I know. Israel sold a tremendous amount of tanks and material to Turkey. Now, I understand that there was an incident in Jordan with King Hussein.
That is true. So
King Abdallah, King Abdallah, King Hussein.
Hussein was his father.
Yeah, yeah.
King Abdallah convoy was attacked by rebels in Jordan. It went up on the news for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then they kill it immediately. But if you all remember, we spoke about it quite a lot. Look, there is no stability in Jordan at the moment.
Right.
They are a minority versus a majority of Palestinian who lives in Jordan. We see it in their parliament. We see their behavior towards certain things that are related to Israel. And for me personally, I believe this is one of our biggest risks, that this very long border that we have with Jordan, a border that since 1967 we didn't had any war or attempt of terrorists beside of what happened with the school girls in Aram Naharaim, where a soldier, Jordanian soldier, shot at them. It was a very quiet border. I'm scared that that is going to be the next front that we will face with. And I'm not sure that it's going to be easy. Now, remember, United States is heavily invested in Jordan. They are trying with all of their hearts to keep the monarchy over there, to keep the kingdom up and alive. But it's difficult.
All right. You had mentioned several weeks ago about a new brigade, armor brigade, being formed to patrol that border.
Correct.
I understand, though, that there is a manpower shortage in Israel.
That is
true,
Joe.
How is all this going to work?
So as we speak right now, we all need to understand, due to the war and due to those new threats, the Israeli army actually informed the government that we have an immediate need of 10,000 soldiers. Not all of them are going to fight immediately. It's between 7,000 that will go to fight, 3,000 that will be more in the logistics and headquarters. But an immediate need of 10,000 soldiers, which we don't have. I mean, we do have, but we kind of release them from various reasons. Some of them are seculars, some of them are ultra-Orthodox, some of them are people who decided not to join the army from various reasons. It is right now on Netanyahu's table. He needs to make the decision. He's actually avoiding it. Sorry for jumping into the politics.
No, that's true. It's true.
He knows that once he will deal with it, he will probably lose the ultra-Orthodox parties, meaning that he will lose his government, meaning that we will go into election. And that's what Netanyahu doesn't want to happen.
No, because not only all the regimes around us will be unstable, we'll destabilize Israel also. So it's a difficult time. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But they do have some new ultra-Orthodox
brigade
that are forming brigade. They call them the Hasmoneans, and the idea is the Hasmonean, and the idea is to deploy them on the Jordanian border to do yeshivas along the border.
Let's all remember.
It's all a drop in the sea. It's all a drop in the sea.
They sent a draft to join the army for 1,500 people, and they recruited only 70.
Oh my God!
I know. It's a very bad situation, no question.
Okay. All right. A lot is happening. Can you bring us up to date on Judea, Samaria?
So if you remember, I did mention to you last week that 4 of our tanks already entered Jenin area. I'm happy to say that we are still there, and we are actually working together with the ground forces. There is a lot of activity to take out and to eliminate a lot of those small terrorist cells that we all know that they are there, financed by Iran. And unfortunately, even the fact that we are there is something that is not stopping the terror action to attack us, because today at 5 o'clock, a vehicle that came from Jenin area ran over a bus station and injured 10 people, not so far from where I live. I live in Hedera. It happened in Karkur. It's 6 minutes driving from there. We have one very wounded, Anush. How would you say?
Critically wounded. Yeah.
Critically wounded. And 9 of the others are in a mixed situation. Look, you cannot seal the West Bank completely. It's impossible. If you all remember, the Palestinian Authority is split into A, B, and C. So A is a full Palestinian Authority control. B is Israeli that are living under the Palestinian Authority. And C is Palestinian who lives under the Israeli Authority. You will always have a kind of a leak of people from there or terrorists from there. It's the same people that are trying to get into Israel to find a job. So if they are managed to go in Israel to get a job, it's not so difficult for a terrorist to use the same cut on the fence and to go and to do a terrorist activity.
Yeah.
We are facing difficult times, that's for sure. I never thought that we will reach to a point that we have a war of that such a long period of time. I never thought that we will reach to a point that we won't take a little bit breathe and we need to heal internal as well.
Right.
And we are far away from there, very far.
And you have so many fronts. Because
so many fronts, yeah. You know what was special about the funeral of the Bibas family? Israel has not had a moment to mourn.
Yes.
And we've had so many people killed, so many people wounded. There was just no time to sit and mourn and think about all the injuries. And this became symbolic.
Yes.
It swept the whole country and became like you can release your emotions.
Right.
You know, it was really quite difficult. Yeah.
And Joe, just to add last thing, after saying all of those, a lot of fronts that we have, we must not take off our eyes from Iran.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw, but it's becoming a little bit more and more on the news with the fact that they have enough uranium for 6 atomic bombs. There is a lot of talking about it. There is a lot of rumors about it. Personally, I will not be surprised if we will all wake up one morning hearing that the Americans and Israel created a kind of attack in certain areas in Iran. I think it's going to come. I think it's going to come quicker than what we have in mind. It is not only Israeli attention. I do believe that it's also United States attention to do that. Iran nuclear is not good to the world. It's not good.
And it needs to be done.
It needs to be done. I'm sure that it will drag some serious things very fast, specifically with Russia, China, North Korea. It will create a kind of a chaos. But you know what? If you clean the mess, you need to clean it all the way.
Yeah.
From the head, from the top.
From the head, that's for sure.
Gilla, I'm going to get you to help me on this. I like to tell people, and possibly Roy doesn't know this, of what exactly the David Fund is and how it got started.
Oh, I was just kind of going through it in my mind. It started in '93, together with the Oslo Accord, with one simple visit that I made. I think it was even before you, Joe, that I made to a company in the Barak Brigade.
Does it?
Adam and Tulila.
Yeah,
the 74.
Yeah.
Yes. The company. No, he was just.
He was in
53rd commander.
Yeah.
What's that?
He was in 53rd.
Right. He was in 53rd. He was a company commander in the 53rd. And we walked around. We went also. They showed us. Their presentation was impressive. You know, when you want to see the beautiful side of Israel, you show them the military. Show them the guys in the military. But I walked around a little bit, and I looked at the dorms, and it was appalling.
Yeah.
They had nothing. And I just turned to the people and said, look at the situation, look at the work they're doing. We're going to do something about these people. Right after that, you came with a group.
Yeah.
And I took you there.
Yeah.
And little by little, we literally adopted. First we followed Adam. We followed him also to
adopted a company, and it grew to a battalion, and then it grew to a brigade.
Right.
Okay. But we wanted to do something where we were leaving something in Israel. And so we took up a donation. We bought a television, one of these big and fat ones, and a VCR, and 200 movies. And that's
Right.
what started. And it has gone from that.
We got a subscription in Katsrin. Yeah.
We've run out of time, but we do need your help.
Right.
You can go to the icon there in the corner, or you can scan that, or go to JerusalemTempleStudy.com, David Fund. It's named after David, was sent by his father to take gifts to the army. And so,
to be continued, the story of the David Fund, to be continued, and keep it alive, please.
Please. It's needed.
Yeah.
Shalom, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.